Now let's cover border property in CSS. I know that we already covered some of it when we were talking about box model, but it's always good to go back and actually emphasize and actually look at it in more detail, and then we're going to remember it more, right? So here we have a main CSS and I have a heading 1, right? So I'm going to say first of all heading 1 over here, and the first thing that I'm going to say, well, first of all, I'm not writing the brackets correctly, and I'm going to say that this is going to be a border over here, and I'm going to say border color, right? So I'm going to have border color, and obviously we can pick whatever color we want, right? So let's go with this aqua right now, right? Then the next option, right, for the border, we're going to say this is going to be a border, and we need to say this is going to be what kind of style, right? So here we can have a dash, dotted, double, like groove, hidden, inset, ridge, solid, right? So we're going to go with the ridge one over here like this, and then the next one is actually actual border width, right? So I'm going to say border, and we can go with width, right? And over here I'm going to say this is going to be 3 pixels over here like this, right? And maybe let's do more, like let's 10, right? So now I can see that we have a pretty massive border over here, right? Now the thing is to remember, right, we still can do these shortcut values, right? So over here, if I would write 10 pixels, right, I can over here write 10 pixels, right? This would mean, actually, let's do 20, right? So what it means is 10 pixels over here, left and right is going to be 20. If we keep going over here, I'm going to say this is going to be 5 pixels, and over here I'm going to say this is going to be like, I don't know, 25, right? So the biggest one, right? So again, you can see this clockwise model, right, where we have a top, then we have a right, bottom, and over here left, right? Now after the border width, we can check it out. What do we have with the border style, right? So again, over here we can have a solid, right? Then we can have it dashed over here. So now I can see this is going to be the dashed one, right? And I'm not going to go over one by one. We can see over here with a, if you click control space, right, this is going to be the options that you have, right? So we have a groove or something like this, right? So now that we're done over here with a style, obviously we have a color, right? And that color again is pretty much whatever your heart desires, right? And again, we can do something like this. We can say red, right? So now I can see that this is going to be actually over here different color, right? Because we're setting these colors. And then I'm going to say over here that this is going to be black, and then over here I'm going to say this is going to be something along the lines of, I don't know, let's say bisque, right? And something like this, right? So what you're seeing right now, we can actually control all 4 of them, right? So again, we're using the shortcut property because it's going to be much more faster. I mean, trust me, you're never going to go like this and you're going to say border, and then I'm going to say, let's say top, right? And then I'm going to say 2 pixels, right? And then I'm going to say with border bottom, right? Basically, what you're always going to be doing is if you're setting the border, in most cases, you're going to do something like this, right? You're going to do the shortcut that I showed you, right? So the first one what we write is actually thickness. So we're going to say, let's say 3 pixels, right? Then we're going to have what kind of border. In most cases, we're going to use something like solid. And then the third one is actually going to be the color, right? So here again, we can pick whatever colors we want. So if I'm going to go with a hex color, I can also write a hex color, right? So here you can see that this is going to be, if I click over, right, this is actually going to be my orange border that is 3 pixels solid wise, right? Now also, obviously you can do, let's say, the border top, right? But you can also do the same thing, right? You can say that this is going to be, let's say, let's delete this, right, over here, but you're going to say 10 pixels, and then we're going to say solid, and we're going to say, let's something gray, right? So this is going to be 10 pixels solid gray. You will going to be changing these values, right? But in most cases, you will actually going to be working with the shortcuts because it's going to be really annoying for you to go specifically for every side and actually saying, well, I would want like 1 pixel here or whatever. In most cases, you're just going to say, okay, you know what? I want border all around, and I want it to be this size, this style, and over here, this color.